Hello, Captains. It's me, TONIK TZW, and people say that a lot of CCs put just their best games on their channel, but it's not all about good games. Sometimes it's about the bad ones too, because they can be a learning experience. And I honestly have to say, in over 16,000 games, I think this was potentially one of my worst games ever. But you may recognize the medal that was on the splash screen. Look at this. There are two destroyers. There are two radar cruisers there, plus the Orleans and the Azuma and a Hipper, so cruiser heavy with a couple of battleships. It's not the game for a Yudachi, especially when one of those destroyers is a Fletcher, which is a very, very nasty gunboat and not something that I want to run into. And literally, this game is so bad that I've decided to run it at double speed just to get through to the end, to the bit that matters. But we're going to have a look at what goes on, because it just seemed to be one mistake after the other with the way that Blue Team worked. And as much as I tried to do what I could, I wasn't really having any effect on the battle. But there we go. The Fletchers picked up at 6.2Ks. We spam our torps out of there. We're trying to stay undetected, but we go guns on him just to try and add to the fire here. But he is getting focused. We get a fire on him. He's damage controlled that. He's overrun his smoke, and the team pile onto him. So it looks like a good start. We've got rid of a destroyer. What's that? 2 minutes into the game. But we're taking fire. We're going to take the cap. Now look at this spam coming out from behind the island to our right. That is one of the Atalantas. Now, I know that I need to stay away from him if I'm going to survive this battle. And what I'm going to do is try and push forward, see if we can try and take care of the battleships, and see if we can get that Atalanta spotted. He's tucked away behind that island. We get the cap. Hipper there, broadside, should be a focus target for this battleship that's behind us. And my head is on a swivel looking for where these guys are, thinking, come on, get rid of the cruisers, and then, your destroyer can take care of the battleship. But using ranges, there we go. Atalanta is briefly spotted again, and I want to try and push him and get him spotted, but stay outside of his radar range. And I just want them to try and focus those guys down. Get rid of the radar. Oh, no, we've touched onto it. So now the Atalanta and the Hipper are probably going to be focused on us. We've potentially got secondaries running there from the Bismarck as well. This guy looks like he's trying to give me a golden shower. Now the battleship is pushing out there on his own. We lost the cruiser that was behind us, so he did rush the cap and do a really good job in getting rid of the destroyer. And that battleship there is the luckiest guy alive, that North Carolina, because although it looks like those torps are going to do a chunk of damage to him, they run out right before they connect. The Friesland is there on his smoke screen. He's being run down by a battleship. He should have thought about that. He should have moved and repositioned. He hasn't got torpedoes. That battleship can knock the living daylights out of him, and that's exactly what it is going to do. He gets himself spotted. He gets himself sent back to port. I am the only destroyer in the game now, with 3 ships down to 1. We do control all the caps, and that is the important part of this game. And I'm looking for what this Atalanta is doing and what these battleships are doing. And I'm thinking, come on, guy, target the Atalanta, try and get some shots on. But I've got a smoke screen available, and I'm going to try and run. And I'm coming up on mic, and I say, don't fire your guns. I'll drop smoke, and I'll hide you. But as I start rolling the smoke screen, he bangs his guns away, and that is just going to keep him spotted. And I was like, okay, yep, you're gone. You're out of the game. Now this cruiser is coming in to help, so I think he can use my smoke screen, but he's broadside to that North Carolina out there who's still going away. The Atalanta is still tucked in behind his island. Blue team have pushed out on the left of ACAP, and they're just getting decimated because there is a Yudachi out there that they're trying to push out against. There's also another Atalanta still out there. They have 2 radar cruisers still in the game, And I'm thinking, I don't need to be close to these guys. I need to get somewhere. There's the Atlanta, there's the North Carolina. And I'm thinking, can I get rid of this guy? But he's wise to the fact that he's spotted. He's wise to the fact that there is a destroyer out here. And I completely fluffed the torpedo launch there. I go for a narrow spread and a wide spread to try to cover some of the cap. It looks like he's trying to push through the center and get a flanking fire under the guys on A cap, and he is going to stay agile, but they get him reset. I get the cap contested. I'm very close to being detected. We've got about half a kilometer to play with, even less than that. And I'm getting ready to run off the cap should he turn into me. So there we go, limited detection. We turn away, we come off. He knows that we were on the cap. He knows we're right beside him. He's going to turn and try and run away. Those turns are going to open up his broadside to the guys that are there on A cap. But there we go, they're getting some shots on, and I'm thinking, there's the Atlanta, please focus the Atlanta, I'll take care of the battleship, please kill the Atlanta. But no, they're going to focus on the low health ship. It is guns off the map if he disappears, but you know, what can we do from this point? We are 2 ships against 6. This is not good. It's looking like game over. I put some shots onto him to get a fire, and that is going to tick, but in firing my guns I get myself spotted. He damage controls. There we go, there's Mr. Golden Shower Atlanta. The hip is behind him. I'm going to try and fill that gap with some torpedoes, and I'm going to have to run away, because literally I'm thinking the only way that we are potentially going to win this game is by taking it on points, by trying to control caps. These guys are all coming my way. I need to move away. Piggy in the middle, Yudachi and Atlanta on my left. I've got Atlanta and Hipper on my right. I've got a Bismarck there coming in behind me as well, and I am absolutely shafted. I have done 4,000 damage, not even 4,500 damage. We have got a solo cap. We did get a couple of fires, but this Atlanta is running me down, and I just want to try and get as much distance from he and myself as I can. I'm looking at the clock, 1.5 minutes to play. There are 100 points difference in the game, and I'm thinking, can I run down the points or run down the clock and take a points win here? And I'm trying to do the maths, but in the last minute of the game, red team are closing on us. Their points are jumping up way too quick. I'm obviously located because I'm the only ship left on the map, but I'm going to try and do something. This is a win it or bin it moment. That Atlanta knows I'm out here. He could have a radar available. I don't know, but we are going to try and launch some torpedoes and cover him off. And he is zigzagging because he knows those torpedoes are coming, and what I'm doing is he's turning and putting his guns to his left side, which means that if he wants to fire his guns at me, he's got to turn back to his right. I get myself spotted by firing the guns. He turns to get his guns on, and as they take the lead on points, and the last 10 seconds of the game, we connect with a torpedo. Everybody else fires at me. I get away with it with 3,500 hit points as the clock ticks down to 0, and that kill gives me a solo warrior and a win for blue team. So it started off very well, went to a complete bag of spanners for most of the next 13 minutes, and then somehow we managed to pull back a win and pick up one of the hardest medals to earn in standard battles. So smash the like button, leave me a comment, tell me how many solo warriors you've managed to pick up, and hit one of these videos, stick around, watch some more, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.